Hi everybody, today is Wednesday, December 28th, and the title of today's vlog is called Not Easy. And it's got a little bit of a double meaning, which is not intentional, but it works, so we're gonna go with it. Today we had Bible study, and we were talking about kind of responses to this book we read. Our pastor recommended this book called My Heart, Christ's Home, and we talked about different parts that stood out to us. The main character in the book is discussing their desire for, I guess, like sexual intimacy with their significant other, their girlfriend. We talked before about purity and abstinence, and I've been seeing, I saw this post earlier, which was really good, and I wish I remember who posted it, but they were talking about how being a virgin or being abstinent is not the same as pursuing purity. And it's a very different thing. And part of pursuing purity does include abstinence if you're single, and does include, being a virgin until marriage. But it's so much wider than that. And I know for me and a lot of peers, we thought like, okay, as long as you don't have intercourse before marriage, you're good to go. Like that's one sin you didn't do. You got it. You made it in. You were a good Christian in that regard. And so I've learned since then that God's standard is much higher, and because of that, we just need him so much to do this thing, to live a life of purity, not just a life of abstinence, not just touting virginity, but really living a pure life in our motives, in our conversations, in our desires. And I want to be honest about just the season I've been in, where it has been a struggle. Now, I've not physically been with anybody. I've not so much as held hands with a guy. I've not gone on a date. Like, I've not done those things in years. I think it's been almost 8 years. And what a ride. These 8 years have been interesting. That doesn't mean that the desire is not there, and that's something that I have to be mindful of fighting. Before I go any further, let me just clarify. When I put these things out, I always think like, I don't want this to come across as like, I'm thirsty or fiending or whatever. I'm not looking for any invitations or propositions, so please don't ever come with that energy, because I don't have it for you here. It's just not the place. But I do want to be honest that even in this place where I want to please God with my body, living in purity, it's deeper than I'm just not having sex until I'm married. It's in what I watch, it's in what my desires are. And lately, if I'm being honest, there have been some blows to my personal life, some discouragements that have come, and riding the wave of that discouragement is a little bit of loneliness. And in those times, I find myself missing the warm embrace of a man, missing holding hands, missing cuddling. I find my mind going back to those days when, I was booed up with somebody. And I want to be honest in that those times come, and it can be rough. And I know that a few things people have taught me over the years really help identifying like when those times come. Typically it's a pattern. For me, it could be if I watch a rom-com, it could be whatever I'm scrolling looking at, it could be songs I listen to. There are some songs and some albums I just cannot listen to. My last relationship, we heavy listened to this one album to the point that I for a long time I couldn't listen to it. I didn't want to hear the artist. Like, I didn't want to hear his voice. I just didn't. It took me back to a place. There are still some songs from years prior, from when I was in high school, that they take me back mentally to a place I don't want to go. But being mindful of those, being aware of the different times the temptation comes, that longing starts to stir up. And then one was just laying in bed, just laying in bed late at night, your mind's wandering. especially if I've heard a song, if I saw something on TV or on social media, someone told me, get up out the bed, like throw yourself on the floor if you have to, get aggressive, get violent with it. Don't leave room to sit and meditate on those thoughts. But yeah, you know, we're in the middle of winter, and I feel like that's cuffing season. I don't really know. I don't know. But I know Valentine's Day is around the corner. You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So if you are like me and been in a place where that loneliness and that desire for affection has been creeping in, know that you're not alone. Know that you can have victory and not give in, but also know that it goes deeper than not just physically being with a person, right? Not just I didn't masturbate, not just I didn't have sex, not just whatever, but like getting our thoughts in a better place. And let me tell you something, this is a season of like shaking some things, and you know, it's been a rough one, but it's causing me to really reflect on like what I believe and what I'm committed to in the midst of everything else is changing. So yeah, it's rough. It's rough. But be encouraged. You're not alone, and it is possible, and we can truck through this thing together. I'm not sure if it gets easier, but I think we get stronger. I mean, I know that the Robin back then would not have thought I could have gone 8 years without going out of my way to like seek some physical whatever with a man. So I'm grateful. There is strength. And I don't say that because I just got it all together. Sis, your girl, there were times, but God has been so faithful. If you're out there, if you are curious about the purity thing, if you feel like you've been trying it and you're like, it's too hard, know that you are not alone. That yes, it is difficult, but God can help you. And there are other believers out here who are also trying to fight this fight and live in a way that pleases God. But I just want to share that because I want to be honest about it, and I hope if anybody else is out there, you've been encouraged, because it's real, and we need to know that those desires don't just go away because you've made a decision. You know, like, I'm hopeful that they dissipate over time, right? It's not as overwhelming. The memories and all those different things aren't as overwhelming, but it's a real fight out here. But you're not alone. So that's all I had to say for you guys. Bye.